Mrs. Thistlethorn's Mushroom House Part 3, The Stone Kitchen Floor, Window Overhangs, and Interior Wall. In the last video, I worked on the little wood-burning stove for Mrs. Thistlethorn's kitchen. I also started on the stonework for the hearth. Today, we'll work on the stone floor and the overhangs for the door and the windows and the interior wall. The first order of business was to cut out the stone pavers from egg cartons I had been saving. I cut random sizes in circular and oval shapes. Next, it was time to start gluing down each stone. I used tacky glue and started in the center using some of the larger stones first and worked my way out. I used the smaller stones to fill in the gaps. Okay, so my stone floor is glued in with tacky glue, and I'm going to use matte Mod Podge next to seal everything in, along with fireplace. I used matte Mod Podge and an old paintbrush to seal the stones and the areas between the stones. This helped to keep the egg carton from soaking in the acrylic paint when I painted the stones. Then it was time to let it all dry and work on something else. Next, I'm going to use aluminum foil and hot glue and some masking tape to make overhangs for the doorway and the windows. And then I will also make a little ledge here for the bay window that I will be making for her little potted plants and herbs and stuff while the Mod Podge is still drying on the floor and the fireplace. So let's get started. I used inexpensive dollar store aluminum foil to create the overhangs and the ledge for the kitchen window. I tore pieces of it and then folded them into the width I needed, creating several layers. Then I shaped them to the curve of the window or door and glued them onto the house with hot glue. Alright, there we have it. Aluminum foil frames are up. Just need to secure them with masking tape, and then they will be ready for whatever comes next. Okay, so the awnings have been taped with masking tape. This will give them a little more strength and keep them stuck to the house itself a little better. What I'm going to do next is do the paper and watered down glue treatment to blend it in with the rest of the house outside walls better. So, and as you can see, the floor is dry from where I put a coat of Mod Podge in it, and so is the fireplace, and that's ready for grouting, so I will do that as well. The awnings are done with their strips of torn paper and water glue treatment. Time to get back to the floor. I used a mixture of drywall compound mixed with PVA glue for the grout and covered the entire floor with it. I gently sanded and then wiped the floor down with a damp paper towel so that the texture of the egg carton would still come through. These are the paint colors I used for the floor and the fireplace. I started with the lighter colors first and worked my way to the darker colors. all the colors. Once all the stones were painted, I cleaned up the grout with white acrylic paint and then toned down the bright stone colors by sponging over them with the white paint. Okay, so I am done with the stonework. I used a combination of 4 different colors of acrylic paints. Here they are. And then I added some white on top of that, just kind of dry brushed it on top. Did some highlights, and then just went in and muted everything as best as I could. And then once that was done, I went and cleaned up some of the grouting with the white where I had gotten a little sloppy. And then once I got done with that, I used black, brown, and beige chalk pastel, just shaved, and put it over the high traffic areas, like in through the door, in front of what will be the sink area over here, in front of the stove area, and then towards the where the staircase will be going up. And I just finished putting on a coat of Mod Podge to seal everything in. So yeah, the floor and the fireplace are done. I think I'm going to work on the walls next. I made a mixture of drywall compound and white acrylic paint and applied it with a palette knife, adding some texture to the walls. Okay, I just added a layer of drywall compound mixture to the inside walls and then textured it a bit. Don't know if I want to keep the texture or not. We'll see how it dries. If I don't like it, I can just sand it. But yeah, that's it for today. The interior lower floor wall has now been painted with 1 coat of this ivory white acrylic paint. I think I'm going to go ahead and give it a coat of matte Mod Podge, and that'll be it for the walls. Mrs. Thistlethorn stopped by for another inspection. She seemed quite pleased with how the floor, the fireplace hearth, and the walls turned out. Next time on Cat's Meow Minis. In part 4 of this series, we're going to tackle the challenge of the curved staircase and the tiny cupboard under the stairs. Thank you for watching, and we'll see you next time.